Hi guys, Al DeMarco here. This is going to be your Monday video report. 30 and 15 run with the free picks after cashing 3 out of 4 on Saturday, 2 out of 3 Sunday. Yesterday's winners giving you Virginia Tech and Arizona in college hoops, losing with the Lakers. But hey, 2 out of 3, I'll live with that. 2 more free picks coming your way in just a moment. Kansas State, and Minnesota Portland in the NBA. First though, we've got to talk about the Grammys. Did you watch the show last night? Only 3.5 hours long, and you thought the Oscars was bad. But you tell me how some of these categories were determined last night. Record of the year. Record of the year goes to Lady Antebellum, Need You Now. I mean, has there been a more overplayed song in the past 12 months than that damn song? I mean, you hear it everywhere. It tells me clearly the Academy must be comprised of all 30 to 55-year-old women and a bunch of young romantic men that just want to listen to that country and music, you know, middle-of-the-road song. I mean, seriously, how does that song win over F You by CeeLo Green? I mean, you know, Eminem and Rihanna, the Love the Way You Lie song, I mean, how does that lose? Either one of them, I mean, definitely record of the year. Now, if by record of the year you want to say the most overplayed song, then give it to Lady Antebellum, okay? So I could live with that. But then song of the year? They win song of the year as well? I mean, give me a break. Did you see, hell, half of you probably out there never even heard the F.U. song by CeeLo Green, but if you saw the rendition he did last night on the Grammys, I mean, that was, you know, vintage, almost Elton John-ish, like back from his 70s glam days. I mean, it was a great rendition. Okay, the Muppets being involved was a little overboard, but Gwyneth Paltrow, of course, sung the song on Glee, came on as well. I mean, it was a great rendition of the song, but did you notice he blew a line of his own song early in the bridge? He missed a line totally, kind of stopped, paused, kept playing, and then picked it up a line later. But anyway, great rendition. But again, how do either one of those songs, CeeLo Green's song or the Eminem Rihanna duet, not win Song of the Year? Damned if I know. Album of the year? Okay, hey, look, Arcade Fire, I mean, it was a good album. I mean, you know, definitely. Personally, you know, I would have gone with Eminem's Recovery, and do I look like I'm like the typical demographic of an Eminem buyer? But it was a really good album. But the biggest shocker of the night, Best New Artist. Now, I am probably the only person here watching or listening to this video right now that actually knew of and listened to the record made by Esperanza Spalding, who won the Best New Artist. I mean, okay, listen, Justin Bieber, I guess there weren't enough teens, or not enough teens' parents voting in the Academy. But Drake? I mean, Drake should have won the Best New Artist. I thought he'd lose it to Bieber. But Esperanza Spalding? I mean, 10 years from now, you'll be on Jeopardy, and the trivia question will be, who won the 2011 Grammy Award for Best New Artist? And the follow-up question is going to be, whatever happened to Esperanza Spalding? Seriously. I mean, what's the... Oh, I got it. That's the Academy trying to show they're hip. You know, they're into this. They're going for the obscure, talented artists. Very talented. Very, you know, interesting album. But Best New Artist ain't happening. Anyway, let's get to your free picks. First one's going to be Portland tonight. Why not take the Trailblazers? They've won 15 straight over Minnesota. This year, in 3 games against the T-Wolves, Wesley Matthews, all he's done is average 26.7 points a game. Has there been a better free agent signing than Wesley Matthews this season? I mean, under the radar, a guy who went undrafted, who emerged last year, and then Portland snaps him up, and what a find he's been for the injury-riddled Trailblazers, who have won 10 of their last 14 games. But even more important, LaMarcus Aldridge, who's been on a scoring tear since being snubbed by the All-Star Game Committee. You know, he scored 36, 37, and 43 points in his last 3 games. In 3 games this year against Minnesota, they're still trying to figure out a way to stop him other than kidnapping the team bus on the way to the arena. He's averaged 33.7 points, 10.7 rebounds in those 3 games, hitting 62% of his shots. You think somebody can get in front of him? I mean, somebody get in front of him? 62% shots in 3 games? That's why he's averaging 33.7 points a game against the T-Wolves this season. Again, Portland did play yesterday, beating Detroit on the road. 4 straight wins, 10 out of 14. I'll ride the T-Blazers in this one. Then in college basketball, you know, the numbers simply support Kansas at Kansas State tonight. Kansas has won 24 of the last 25 meetings in Manhattan, where the Wildcats play. They've won 42 of the last 44 meetings overall. They beat up Kansas State in Lawrence earlier this season, 90-66. You know what? I got my numbers wrong here. No, they have won 42 of the last 44 straight up. They've won 26 of the last 27 games in Manhattan. Even better, right? Overall this season, Kansas just 24-1 straight up. The only loss coming against Texas. They've won 6 straight games, and I was impressed with the way they dominated an inferior opponent on Saturday. Iowa State rolling over the Cyclones by 23 points, 89-66, not getting caught looking ahead to this game, because even though Kansas State is struggling this season, this is still a huge game. You know, the battle for the bragging rights in Kansas. Kansas State coming off a 58-56 heartbreaking loss at Colorado, a game they thought they won, but then the review showed that the three-pointer they hit at the buzzer, well, it came actually a millisecond after the buzzer, so they lost that game. In the first game this season, the Morris Twins combined for 30 points, 18 rebounds. Kansas State, since that point, has lost Wally Judge and another forward, so they're very thin along the front court. They just shot 37.3% in the first meeting, so I think go ahead and lay the points. It's a pretty cheap lay when you think about it. You know, Kansas is not laying more points because of the rivalry in this contest, but in reality, Kansas is the far superior team. So Kansas and the Portland Trail Blazers, your 2 free picks, 30 and 15 free pick run. Good luck, everybody, and I'll catch you again on Tuesday.